So my father used to say this quote to me, and it comes from Imam Ali, and it goes something like, when you have nothing, you must practice patience. And when you have everything, you must practice gratitude. And that's very interesting because the practice in which we are indulged in must be wrapped with patience.
You're listening to the Art of Resilience Show, a podcast that inspires those seeking to uncover their own resilience. I'm your host, Hussein Al-Biati, once a refugee, now artist, author, and entrepreneur. Join me in my mobile studio as we sit down with some of the most diverse, knowledgeable, and resilient guests to discuss their state of mind.
Yo, what's going on, my resilient people? I hope you're well. Welcome back to another episode of Art of Resilience. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about how to practice patience and gratitude. All right, we're going to jump right in. The first thing is practice. How do we approach practice? What is practice? Habits, routines, things that we are aware of, and sometimes things that we are not aware of. They all come up. When I was younger, my father used to say things like, you got to practice patience. You got to have patience. And, whether it be our imams or, religious figures or philosophical figures, so many important people come to my dad's mind when he was trying to teach me about carrying this idea of practice. It's a daily thing. You got to do it repeatedly. If I was painting, drawing, sketching, writing, he always encouraged me to practice it. Even if I failed at something, even if I wasn't good at something, he constantly encouraged me to practice. So ask yourself, what is something that you are trying to practice? A lot of people say, I want to be a writer. Well, writing is merely a practice of writing every single day. What is it that you do every single day? What are you putting off? And so how can you create a practice in writing? How can you create a practice in drawing or reading or whatever it is that you are trying to become more of? So be and then coming, right? So you have to be that thing for it to come to you. And so the ideas that my father was trying to share with me is that the more practice you indulge with, the more you get better at that thing. And the idea is not to be perfect at it, however, to daily build on that practice to improve yourself and build those muscle memories, whether they're in your mind, in your body, or in your soul, such as prayer. All right, number 2 is patience. Patience is a very deep, complex way of practicing something. Patience is not something that you have, it's something that you carry around with or something that you tolerate. It's something that you cultivate, something that you grow through practicing, right? So you practice patience. And so my father used to say this quote to me, and it comes from Imam Ali, and it goes something like, when you have nothing, you must practice patience. And when you have everything, you must practice gratitude. And that's very interesting because the practice in which we are indulged in must be wrapped with patience. Patience to get better, patience to improve, patience with the other person or the people or the system or the processes. It takes time for things to move, to change, to evolve. And therefore, you have to be patient and diligent with your work. And so whatever it is that you are building in your business, your project, the idea of patience is something that you cultivate, that you build over time. It's not something that you will have like overnight. It's something that you are constantly building, and you're looking for opportunities to practice patience. So when you are trying to meet a deadline and that other person you're working with is, maybe slacking or maybe not delivering on time or things like that, this is a perfect moment to not get upset with that other person, but to use that energy instead to building patience and saying, what can I do in this time to continue pushing my work while I'm patient to get this thing done. And so patience is something that we have to chip at and slowly get better at. And that takes practice. That's why we always say you got to practice patience. And so I'm super grateful for when my dad used to share that quote with me, because, you know, as a young person, I didn't quite fully know what it meant. But as I got older, I started understanding that, you know, people and things and situations aren't always going to unfold the way I want them to. They just are. And so I have to be patient with what I'm seeking and what I want, and know that eventually it will come. And that's where the third and most important thing comes in: gratitude. So in that quote, the word gratitude is powerful. So when we have everything, right, we have to practice gratitude. And up to you what it means to have everything. For me, you know, having a life, having water, having food, having electricity, having a body, having a mind, having a soul, you know, having a job, having things to do, having opportunities. These are all things that I'm grateful for. Having family, having parents, having anything that you are grateful for are things that we must hold near and dear. And when we feel like we're on top of the world, it's a time to practice gratitude, because gratitude not necessarily just humbles you, but it fills you up even more. And when you're filled up more, you feel that you can get more out of life. And therefore, in gratitude, it is the most potent way to reconcile, to level set yourself with what you've been trying to do. And so when you're practicing gratitude in conjunction with patience, you are balancing your life. You are balancing that project. You're balancing your work, your relationship. And so thinking about practicing patience and gratitude is the essence of how you can become a merely better person. And that's what we're all trying to do every single day, one day at a time. Is just becoming a better version of yourself. And when you become a better version of yourself, your business can get better, your relationships can get better. And instead of, you know, constantly pushing, sit back sometimes and be patient with what is to come for you, because what's for you will never miss you. All right, let's review. Remember, when you are in a dark time, struggling with something, struggling with a project, your business, family situation, relationship, remember to practice patience, because it's not always going to be like that. Things will change and they will improve. But it doesn't mean just waiting, sitting around. It means taking action towards the improvement of your situation, whatever that is. Always practice gratitude, because gratitude makes you grateful for what you already have, and therefore it level sets for what you're going for. So remembering, practicing the patience and the gratitude are things that are woven together to help you every single day. Yo, so who in your community, your circle could really use these words, this video today of practicing patience and gratitude? I would love if you shared this video with them, help me grow this community. I would love, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell right next to it, like, comment, and of course, share. I'm your boy Hussein Al-Bayati. This is Art of Resilience. Take care. Peace.